Old. Hey, how's it going? Anybody out there? Don't think we've got anybody just yet. Getting started here. Alrighty, let's see. I'm trying to figure out why it can't hear. It's so weird to me. Alright, I think everything's working fine. I can see the audio levels. I just can't hear anything for some reason through the monitoring. Oh well. We won't worry about that. Just checking Discord real quick. See if anybody joins us. Otherwise, I'll just be writing code all by myself, which is perfectly fine. Let's see. Preferences, editor, code editing, general editor, color scheme, AC night. Alrighty. Where are we? Not much going on just yet. Been working on the Summer of Code website, trying to get a few things done with that. Let's see. Alright, looking good. Looking good. Alright, can't hear anything with this, so let's just turn that off and put her down there. Alright, so where was I? I was working on trying to get the voting working on the site. Get submission votes. We want to get the submission votes to filter by. Whoop, nope, we don't want to do that. We want to do vote model. Filter by submission. And then get self dot get ID. And then we give it a submission. Get query result, empty list, and then we turn list. That should be getting our submission votes from the vote model, the vote table, really. Like if we jump into that, you'll see it's the table name votes, and they have a submission. I'm not sure why I didn't call that submission ID. I'm not going to worry about it for now. We will figure that out at a later date, and not a breaking problem. So leaving that be for now. All right. So I think we've got that working. Let's go over here. Add vote to submission. Actually, does that return a model? Don't know. I think that does return a model. I don't think we're going to return a model, though. There's no reason to do that. And then we're going to do property, bevy method, async def, submissions, or no. It's just going to be def votes. Why do I keep thinking of submissions? We are on the submissions entity. This is an entity. This is how we interact with everything. Saying we've had 7 seconds of average view duration. So, whoever joined for 7 seconds, thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, and this is going to return a list of hello. I believe someone's there. I see the jump to 1 concurrent viewer, so happy to have you. Just writing some code real quick, getting this website working. For now, we're just going to stick with vote models. From soc.database.models.votes, vote model. Back out here. And this is going. Oh, wait, actually, that's going to return an awaitable, isn't it? It's going to return a waitable that returns a list of vote models. All right, so then we're gonna do, we gotta get the database, db database, soc.database equals inject. So we need that injected from Bevy. Then we're gonna return db dot challenges dot get submission votes, and it's gonna be self that. And that should return, because this is a coroutine, so when we call it, it gives us back an awaitable. And that awaitable should return a list of vote models. And yes, it does. All right, very cool. So that should be working now. So now we should be able to grab the votes. Actually, we don't want to return it that way, do we? Don't think we do. I think we want to return, what we want to return is we want to return a dictionary because each of the votes is an emoji. So you vote by placing an emoji. And then so like each emoji will have a set number of users who have submitted that emoji. So I think I want to do is I want to return a dictionary, and it's going to still be awaitable, but it's going to be a dictionary of string int, and the int is going to be the user ID. Not even int, it's going to be a list int. It's going to be a list of user IDs that have given that vote. And this will like break down and compress the amount of information that this gives back. So instead of giving back a vote model for each and every vote, we're just going to give back a user ID for each vote type that there is. We're going to give back a list of user IDs for each vote type. So I think that'll be a little bit smarter and a little bit simpler. But it means we need to do this. Build votes dict, and we're going to grab the db. So c.database. We got to make that a Bevy method. And this is going to return a dict of string list ints. All right, so that's going to be our emoji as the key, as the string. And then we're going to have a list of user ID integers. So we got to build that. We got to make that work. So let me do this real quick. We're going to change this. This is no longer needing to get the database. Get rid of all of this. And then it's going to do, let me grab that because we're going to need that below. That's going to return self.buildVotesDict. And that's going to call it right like that. And this is going to do this. And wait votes equals. And then it's going to pass in, it's going to get the submission votes for ourself because this is the submission entity object. So then we're going to do a dictionary. Does it make sense to do a dictionary compression? Comprehension? I don't think it does. It doesn't actually make sense to do that because what we want to do is we need to have let's do raw votes. This is just straight up no, we'll call it user votes. That's what we're going to call it, user votes. And then we're going to do votes equals dictionary right like that. Just trying to think if there's an easier way. We need a default dict. So from collections, import default dict. And this is going to be a default dict. And it's going to take list as the function. So that's going to create a dictionary where anytime we try to access a key that doesn't already exist, it's going to call the list class and create a new list. So then we can just start appending on user IDs. All right, so for vote in user votes, we're going to do votes, vote.emoji.append vote.user ID. And actually, I'm going to change this. We're not going to make it a list. We're going to make it a set. This is going to be a set, right, like that. It's going to be a set all the way down. So this is going to be a set. And then instead of append, we do add, right, like that. Okay. So that way it keeps things distinct. So for each vote, you'll only have each user ID once. It should, the way we're going to set this up, it should prevent duplicate votes with the exact same emoji for a user on the same submission. But just for cleanness, we're going to do it this way. It'll also make things a little bit easier for checking, maybe. We'll find out. We'll figure it out in a bit. And then we're going to return votes. There we go. All right. It does feel like we could make that a little bit cleaner. It feels like it could be made more simple, but I don't think there's a way to necessarily do it simply. Out of curiosity, can we do this? Let's pull up a Scratch file real quick. New Scratch file, Python. Whoops, Python. From collections, import default dict. Then let's do print default dict set, and then we're going to no, I don't think I'm trying to think if there's a way to do this, and I don't think there is. Not a clean way. I was thinking maybe I could get a bunch of tuples where I have the emoji username, but I don't think that'll work. Update. What is M exactly? What is M? Mapping. So it's expecting a mapping, or it can take kwargs. It can take either one. So yeah, I can't do what I was thinking maybe we could possibly do, I don't think. Let's see, just Moses wants my theme, and I'm trying to remember. I think I saved it out and sent it to someone else. Can't remember off the top of my head if I did and where I put it if I did. So we'll just go here, preferences, color scheme, export. Okay, so now I know where it is. It's in my root folder, my root directory. Finder. Well, this is not my root directory, so let's just jump over here. And then there we go. Everybody wants my themes. I make all these themes. I make my themes for PyCharm myself, like they're custom themes. Like, I'm trying to think, do I have the other one on here? Preferences. Don't know if I have the other one on here. I do have Orange Knight on. So I can switch over to Orange Knight. This is the one I had before. Pretty fancy. Now I've got the new one, the Icy Knight, that I just made. When did I make it? I don't remember when I made it. I made it like in the last month and a half. So this one's pretty much brand new. Yeah. Okay, so we've built a dictionary of votes, and we added them into a set on a dictionary, and we're returning that from here as an awaitable, so we can await this property anytime we want the votes. So now down here, inside of toDict, we're going to do votes await self.votes. Very cool. All right, cool. So now we have that. All right. What do we need to do next? I think we can. If I come over here, let me restart the terminal. Let me grab the terminal real quick. We need the terminal. Boom, boom. There we go. Now we've got the terminal. Put it over there. Let's make her nice and small. Don't need a big terminal. Bring this down so we can see the terminal underneath the browser. Let's restart the server. If I reload this, internal server error. Missing one required conversational argument. There we go. And then if we come down here, now we see we have a votes dictionary that's empty. It's an empty votes dictionary. So now I'm able to see if I have any votes. So when I finally start adding in the authentication stuff, or the voting stuff, for all the endpoints for the API, we can make that work. And I think we're actually pretty close to having that too. Let's see. Submission to add vote. So we have to have the challenge ID, the submissions, the submission ID, the vote. I need to do... Actually, I don't need to do that. I think it's pretty much set. So this should add a vote. Post, vote, add submission ID vote. Checks to make sure the submission exists. Can't submit to a submission that doesn't exist. Let's see here. So you can't submit to a submission that doesn't exist. You can't add a vote. It's calling a submission to add vote with the user ID and the emoji. And then, so like we should be able to call that now, right? Let's see. Wait. API request. Post. The endpoint is v1 slash challenges slash trying to see challenge ID 4 submissions slash, this is submission ID 9 slash vote. And then the payload is just this right here, this vote payload. So it's just gonna be the emoji. So we're just gonna do a job, JSON, it's gonna be an object, vote or emoji, and we'll do smiley face. Like that. Rest was no, so that's nulls. Seems like I think I got a 200 okay from the API endpoint, so boom, there it is. There we go. We have the emoji added on. So now you see my user ID is 1, and so that worked. Let's see if we can't log in as a different user. Log in. Start here. And then I need to go to localhost 8000. We need to log in. So here, I need to log in because I need to get the session cookie. Internal server error. That's lovely. In verify state. Why? is the cookie none? Let's go line 31 in apps.auth. Line 31. So cookie is coming from session cookie. So it's not actually getting the cookie. It's getting the session data from the database. So why did it not create session data for... Let's just fix that real quick. All right, so now we've got that. Let's try this again. We got to figure out why the auth. I'm inside the auth helpers right now. I don't want to be here. I want to be here. I want to come down here to Discord login. Why did this not create the session? Session ID. Values, which gets JSON dumped in. Let's go back. The values, create guest session. So where did we come from? We came from here. State equals state. So we're creating state. It returns the token and the session. The token what is going wrong? Very, very odd. Let's grab this off. Hello, Kimtech. How's it going? Oh, it is just the cam, isn't it? Ay, ay, ay. Let's go back to PyCharm. There we go. Whoops. Alright, so we've got a server error. We're trying to figure out what's causing the server error. The error is that we don't have... Let's move this over here. Let's make that small. So the error is that the session isn't being grabbed. I'm not sure why the session isn't being grabbed. Line 31 of apps.auth. Let's go back to apps.auth. Let's figure out where... Is it grabbing the cookie? So here it should be setting the cookie. Right? No, this isn't where it sets the cookie. This is where it sets the cookie. So here it's setting the cookie. And this has the session ID, which looks up from the database. And then where it's blowing up is up here. Right? No. It's blowing up in apps auth, which is where I am, on line 31. So it is blowing up. It's blowing up on verify state. Verify state is right here. Depends on session cookie. So let's figure out this. Why is this print session token? Start that. Scrolling up. Let's find out. Oh, good lord. So there's the session. No. That is the request. The session token is none. It's like, all right, let me do this real quick. Let's put some kind of indicator that this is the print we're looking for, right? And let's restart it. And then let's reload it. And if we scroll back up, here we go. You see, there they are. They're none, and it's none and none. Why is it none? Why is the cookie none? Please tell me. So help me. If Safari is not setting the freaking cookie again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it doesn't appear to be setting the cookie, because this is just asking for the cookie. This isn't asking for anything else. There's nothing else in the way. Good lord. So I don't think it's an issue there. I think it's an actual literal issue. Let's try going to localhost once again. Let's just try logging in one more time. Authorize, and it's still giving the server error. It's the same exact error, and the cookie is probably still none. Oh god. Yeah, the cookie is still none. What on earth? And right down here, we're setting the cookie, correct? Yes, we're setting the cookie right here. We're setting it with an expiration time. That's the value of the cookie. What do I have to do to make this function? Like, does not make sense. What if we give it an HTTP response instead? Let's just try something crazy. Go away. Why are you not suggesting HTTP? Oh, HTML response. I don't know why I was thinking HTTP. All right, HTML response. Right, so we're going to give it that content, and that's not going to be the only content we give it. Then we're going to do script. Set time out. Is it 1,000? Like, is that how it works? Can't remember how that function works. Not like that. Right. So I think it's the function first, then you do the time. There we go. All right, so that's the correct ordering. So we're gonna do location dot place dot href. Well, I think that's how we want to do it. And then we're gonna do 2000, just fun script. Redirecting. I don't even need that to be an F string, so we can do that. We have the code right, I think. Yes, no, maybe. Looks like it might be right. We'll give it a shot. We need to restart the server. Then we need to come back to Safari. Localhost. Log in. Redirecting. Boom. Authorize. Internal server error. I was hoping, like, using a JavaScript redirect, it would work, but it is still none. So let me try something real quick. Let's create a... let's log out. Let's make sure the login is even working. Like, redirecting. Taking its time. Holy moly. Alright, why is that happening? Discord is taking its time. There we go. Authorize. And it worked. So it works on Chrome. Why does it work on Chrome and not Safari? We're back to this again. Oh my god. Cookies do not set in Safari. Alright, so does this expires max age? Just trying to see. Maybe let's set the max age. Set the max age on it. And then they were saying maybe set the domain on it. Let's set the domain. Let's just get crazy here. Domain equals. And then let's restart it. Let's just make sure it works in Chrome still. Log out. Log in. Oh god, I got the redirect still on there. Authorize. Internal server. Let's. Interesting. So now we got the same problem. in Chrome. Interesting. Let's start her back up again. So, gotta probably go back. Home, log in, redirecting. Internal server error. So that doesn't like that. It doesn't like something about that. I just set the domain to localhost. Let's see. Let's go back. Go back. Start the server again. Log in. Authorize. That worked. So setting the domain to localhost seems to have worked. Let's try it in Safari. Localhost 8000. Log in, redirecting, authorize, and we got internal server error. So that did not fix it. Neither of those steps fixed it in Safari. So that answer isn't helping us much. Maybe this is... Is it as simple? If it's as simple as that, so help me. So help me. Alright, so if I do... Alright, so let's try it in Chrome again, because Chrome, we know it works in Chrome. Log in. Request storage access is not defined. Oh, the document interface. So we gotta do... I think we have to do document. So let's restart it. If this is the problem, so help me. Safari, why are you like this? So, let's go back. Let's log in. Same problem. Why? So I think the better way to do this. Redirect. Chrome doesn't support it yet, so we have to check for it. So that's what we're gonna do in just a second here. Redirect. Whoops, don't want to call it like that. Otherwise, we just want to redirect that. So this should, in theory, maybe, possibly, make JavaScript work. Do it work correctly in Chrome. Redirecting, no errors, redirected, pulled up, and logged in. All right, and then we go over to Safari, the bane of our existence. What are you doing, Safari? What are you doing? What? So confused by what Safari's doing or not doing. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to change this. That doesn't need to be async. This is going to do this. This is just going to redirect, is just going to redirect, right? Hey, Mr. Robin, how's it going? Yeah, it's not, I don't know what the heck is going on with Apple here. Like, come on, guys. This shouldn't be so complicated. So if it's not undefined, then we're going to do this. Set timeout. Set timeout. We're going to do redirect, and we're going to set a timeout of 2000. And so what's going to happen is if document request storage is not equal to undefined, we're going to request storage access, then we're going to set timeout to 2000, then we'll redirect. Otherwise, if document that request storage access is undefined, we'll just straight up redirect. So we should see this as pretty much an immediate redirect in Chrome. So if I log out and log in, got an error message, syntax error. Where's my syntax error? Right there. The problem is I'm making a single line JavaScript thing. Like, it's not. Log in. There we go. We're immediately to Discord. We never saw the redirect page, nothing. We just immediately went to Discord. Let us log in. Now, Safari, in theory, according to this documentation right here, right? Let me see. Safari, since 11.1, I'm on the latest Safari. I have no updates I need to do for Safari. So request storage access should not be undefined. So we should end up requesting storage access and then doing a timeout before we redirect, okay? Let's see. Let's see if we go to localhost. And then we're going to go log in. Redirecting. I got no prompts. I don't know what's going on here. But it took its time. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness, this is bonkers. Like, this was working, and I haven't changed anything on it. It's just Safari has decided to be a butt. I'm trying to think what we can do to get past it. We could try, I hate this, we could try setting the cookie when they first visit. How can we do that though? Let's get rid of as much stuff as possible. All right, let's do that. Let's just narrow it down, and then we're gonna go localhost 8000. There we go. So let's just go log out. Let's make sure there are no cookies, and then let's go log in. What? So let's stop that real quick. Let's put back some of those values. Let's get rid of domain. Let's get rid of max age. Like, let's log out. So now there should be no cookie set. We can go home and it still shows nothing. So that means the cookie has been deleted. Let's log in, redirecting, authorize, and we get the internal server error. So which one is the problem? Is it secure? Let's find out. We gotta go to localhost, log in, redirecting, authorize, that. So it's secure. Why would be setting it to HTTPS only be a problem? Oh, never mind. I lied. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I'm not secure because I'm on localhost. Chrome must be... Oh my god. So what can we do? We can do this, right? Settings, authentication settings. From soc.config.models.site, import site settings, and then we do site settings equals inject site settings. And then we come down here and we say site settings .dev. I think that defaults to false. If it's set, it'll be true, because it's a bool. So, and we want to do not, because if dev is set to true, we want it to be false. We want secure to be turned off. If dev is set to false, we want it to be true because we want secure on, because on our server, we have HTTPS. Now, this is hilarious that, like, it didn't occur to me that localhost isn't secured, so it's not going to, Safari's not going to give me my cookies. It's not secured. So that makes sense now that I think about it. Let's get rid of all the extra junk we added in here. Trying to figure out what was wrong. Then we're going to do redirect response. Right like that. And we get rid of all of this. And it should still function in Safari, right? And then we're going to log out. We're going to log in. We're going to authorize. And it worked. It worked. Home. We were still logged in. Yes, yes. Awesome. Very cool. All right, so now that worked. I need to add a button that lets me add a vote. Like, that's all I need to do right now. So let me add a button to this so we can add a vote. All right, so now that I understand what was wrong, it makes sense. But it wasn't at all obvious because Chrome tries to be too nice and too smart and lets you access secure cookies on localhost. Hopefully it's just localhost. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so we can move on from that nightmare. Let me commit that change. Let's grab this and commit that change real quick. What did we change? What file is this? This is auth apps auth helpers. Oh yeah. Let's just tidy up. Tidy up. Turn. Apps auth. This one right here. Why do we have that? We don't need that. That doesn't need to be there. Now, do not use secure cookies in dev. There we go. So now that's working. Now we gotta add a button. That's the next step. We gotta add a button, which is actually super duper easy to do. So we'll get that pretty simply. Is this just like a bump mention? Nope, that's a staff mention. Oh, there's Bobby. Oh, sorry, I didn't even notice Bobby mentioned me in staff. I'm not necessarily paying a Discord while I'm watching, while I'm streaming here. Alright, so we're now ready to do this. We've almost got the voting working. We're able to submit a vote manually. Let's just add a quick button for voting on the index page. Let's see, where the frick is index? Right here. So we're just going to add a quick little vote button. And that needs to be role equals button. Button on click equals. What do we need to do? We need to do API request. And then we do post. And then we go to v1 slide. And what was that route? API. Let's just copy the route from here. Challenge ID. The challenge ID is, let's look over here. Challenge ID is 4. Submission ID is 9. And then we're going to vote. And the payload is going to be emoji. Right. Emoji. Learn to spell. And then we're going to put a smiley face. API request. Click. Put the smiley face. If I come over here and reload, there we go. We got a smiley face button that is disabled. It's a disabled smiley face button. Alright, so how do we make that not a disabled smiley face button? Did I goof something up? Doesn't look like I did. Doesn't need an href. There we go. So let's do I didn't want to do that. But maybe it worked. No, it doesn't appear to have worked. Why did it not do the on-click? Function boat. And then let's take this. Why? Why are you like the Safari? Who hurt you? Do I have to... Is it even reloading it? It is. It's reloading it. What the hell is happening? Why is it not working? Okay, there we go. Okay, put the vote through that time. So apparently this is causing an error. I must have forgot something, misremembered something. Just out of curiosity. JavaScript. Event default. Event.prevent default. Very odd. Very, very odd. I would have expected that to work, right? Let's change the emoji. Yeah, so you have to call it. I'm very confused. No idea what's going on here. Oh well. Alrighty. So we're not getting... The reason why it's not working is because that's not getting an event. So one way we could fix that... Let's just do it this way. We can do ID equals vote. And then we do document dot get element by ID vote dot add event listener click vote, and that should get an event, and then we can do event dot prevent default. And now if we reload it, vote, the vote went through. If we reload the page, and at that time it didn't jump. So there we go. That was the problem. All right, cool. So now we're able to vote. And if I come back over to Chrome and I go back home, I reload that so we can see the vote button. I can vote, and I can reload, and I can see, there we go. User 1 and 2 both voted. Very awesome. There we go. We have voting working. Kind of. Almost. Kind of, sort of there. The problem right now is it's adding multiple votes. So like if I were to come back over here to not API, we got to go over to database challenges. No, it was API, wasn't it? So if I come over here to API, it's on entities. That's where it is. It's on submissions, entities. Add vote to dict votes, back to votes, build votes dict right here. So then we have this right here, which is building the dictionary, and it's doing this add. Let's change it real quick to a list, and then we'll do append, and then we'll restart the server. And then I come over here and I vote and I reload. And you see like there's like 2 1s and a 2 and then another 1. And every time we vote, it adds another 1. And that's something we don't want to do that. Like we don't want to have that happen. But I'm going to leave this as a set. All right. So what I need to do now is remove a vote if there's already a vote. And I'm trying to think how we do that. Do we want to do it on the API level? Or do I want to do it on the front end? Well, it's got to be done on the API level anyways. Like the API needs to at least give an error if you try to vote twice with the same emoji. So if I do it on the front, I think I'm just going to do it on the back end. It's not going to be the most semantically perfect thing ever. Well, maybe we could just give an error. Because yeah, this vote button is going to be attached to the submission. So if the user attempts to vote with the same emoji that they've already voted with, we have their user ID on the client side. We should have the user ID on the client side. We'll have to make sure we have the user ID on the client side. And then we'll have to... I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because I could just post, check and see if it's set in the database, delete if it is. Because ideally you use a delete method request to remove an emote. Let's see. If I come down here, is this where I have the code I'm wanting to change? Bevy route. Session token. So this is getting set inside the header. Inside the header, we have this code right here. What I can do is I can come back into context and we can go Am I setting anything else on the scope? Don't think I'm setting anything else on the scope. No, I'm not. Trying to think. If there's an easy way for me to grab the user ID. So I've got the request right here. So that has cookies. If I look at the auth helpers right here. Bearer token, validate bearer token. If I grab the session cookie right here, all I have to do is pass it the session cookie. The auth settings, like it gets too complicated, I think. So I'm not going to worry about it that way. So I think we're just going to do, what we're going to do is we're not going to have it on the simplest solution for us right now is on the server side inside the vote endpoint. If the user has already made that vote, we just remove it. So I think that's what we're going to do. Or we come over here is what we can do. We can, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't like doing that. I want to add the proper routes and use the proper methods for doing stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think. Here, we're going to come over here. We're going to go to the index page right here. And then I'm going to get the user's votes for the active challenge. So we're going to do users votes equals, it's going to be a dictionary, because it's going to be a dictionary of submission IDs, and then it's going to be a set of emoji that they voted for on each submission ID. So we need a default dict again. So from collections import default dict set, right, like that. And then we go through for, you know what, this is actually going to duplicate some stuff. So I'm going to do this. How do I do this? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? If challenge data halo or scope equals a dictionary, like that. And we're going to do challenge dot, right, like that. And so then we're going to return scope, and if challenge scope challenge equals await challenge to dict, okay? And then we're going to create the user votes, and that's going to be scope user votes, right, like that. And then I'm going to do for submission in scope challenge dot sub, or no, it's going to be a dictionary submissions. yeah, no, I do need to do that, because the reason why I'm doing it that way is because the toDict is going to query the database to get the submissions and then all of the votes on the submissions. And I don't want to do those two queries. And it's not two queries, it's a lot of queries, because I have to do those queries. I have to query all the submissions, and on each submission, I have to query the votes. So I don't want to repeat all of those queries, so I'm just going to reuse everything that's already brought down into this dictionary. So through the submissions, or submission and scope, and then we do for vote in emoji voters in, and then I'm gonna need to get the active user RNA. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more work here. For emoji voters in submission votes. Because the submission votes is a dictionary of emojis and a set really of user IDs. So then, how do I get the user ID? Trying to remember how I get the user ID here. Probably to do what? From soc.auth helpers import session cookie session and so now we need to import that from Fast API. All right, sessions. Now from the session, I can get the user ID. And then we do scope user votes emoji, or if session.userid in voters no session ID dot add emoji. So now if I restart this, let's see if it worked. Let's see if we did it right. And then I got to come over here to the index, and then we're going to, I'm just going to dump this out onto the screen. User votes. Come over Chrome. Internal server error. Not enough values to unpack. Oh, I have to do items, don't I? Whoops. Key error ID. Why would that be the case? Oh, whoops. Not session. Submission. There we go. And then here's the user votes. So I voted both of those on submission 9, so it shows up there. So now on the front end, we can do, what can we do? How do we turn this into something useful? Because that won't be valid JavaScript. how do we convert it to valid JavaScript? I think we just make it a list. So we have to come over to the index.html. And right here, we're going to do const user votes equals, and then we have to do for emoji, or no, session or submission. I keep doing session ID emoji in user votes %. And we'll do this, that, and then here we do submission ID, and then we do it doesn't work for JavaScript. How the heck do we do this for JavaScript? User votes. I think this is how we do it. I think I've got it. I think I found a way. User votes. It's gonna be like that. And then we do user votes equals emoji. Right, like that. And then we have to end the for loop. End for. Yes, I know, that's not valid JavaScript. Let's stop complaining. And then if we reload, internal server. Did I do, is it literally this? Yeah, it's literally that. Unexpected token and. Huh? Why? Why are you doing this? Good Lord. How do we Jinja insert HTML? Because Jinja is escaping stuff. So now, there we go. So now we have user votes equals an empty array, and then I have user votes 9 equals, yeah. All right, cool. So now I should be able to come over here to console, user votes. And there we go. So now my array is going to do the thing I want it to do. So now up here, when I vote, by elements by class name, and then ID, so class vote button, like that. data emoji equals that. We can get rid of this because that's now being taken care of down here. And then we do for each. Is that how that works? Let's see if we can figure out how to use JavaScript in 2022. Button. Bind to button dot event listener, and then we can do this dot get attribute data dash emoji. All right, just for the moment, let's do it like that, and we're going to change the emoji to something we don't already have. Like that. It's not a function. JavaScript for each element. How do we do that? Come on, guys. Why are you not showing me useful information? Wait, what was that? No, that's for elements. JavaScript. HTML collection. JavaScript. Loop through elements by class. Like, this just feels wrong. Well, oh, okay, so is this what I want to use instead? Let's try that. Let's try that. Query selector all dot vote button. Now let's try. It didn't explode. That sent an HTTP request. Boom, boom, there we go. All right, cool. That's working. It's currently not bound to a submission. Data dash submission ID. And we're going to do 9 data dash submission or challenge ID equals 4. All right. So now all the information is on the button. So when we finally build out all of the submissions, because right now it's just dumping them out, but we're going to add a for loop at some point, and it'll add in each of these vote buttons that will have an emoji on them, so you'll be able to vote, and it'll have each one will have the data session ID and the data the data challenge ID added in. And now we have to do if, try to think, JavaScript in array. All right, cool. That's what we need. So now we have to do if user votes dot includes cons equals this dot get attribute data session ID. Why are you doing session? Submission ID. Submission ID. Challenge ID. Emoji. If user votes includes submission ID dot. Yeah, hopefully that works. We'll find out if that works in a second, I guess. JavaScript convert string to number. Like, a lot of this stuff didn't really exist like 8 years ago, which is when I was last doing a lot of JavaScript. So parse int. Parse int to include submission ID. So if it includes the submission ID and user votes, submission ID dot includes emoji. So if they've already voted that emoji, I'm going to change this up a little bit. Else, duplicate that and move it down. And we're going to do delete vote. So, you know what? We're going to do let method equal post, because everything else is going to be the same. We're just going to change the method. Method equals delete. Like that. Delete. There we go. Method emoji, like that. All right, so now we have everything set up to add an emoji and to delete an emoji. So now if I reload, if I come back over here and I reload this, did a post. Why did it do a post? Let's console.log submission ID, challenge ID, emoji, and user votes. Nine for emoji. So let's log out this. Let's just see if both of these are coming back as true, because they should both be coming back as true. False and true, so it's not including the submission ID. Oh, wait, hold on. So I think what we need to do is not that. We need to do this. Because it includes checking the value at it's seeing if any index has the value that we're looking for. I'm trying to see if the index exists. It's not equal to undefined. JavaScript. Check if index exists. Is that how simple it is? Is it just a matter of... There we go. I think that's what it wants us to do. And it's not equal to undefined. So now this should maybe work. Find out in a second, won't we? There we go. It attempted to delete submission 4, or challenge 4, submission 9. Try to delete the vote. Got a 405 method not allowed because we haven't implemented it yet. But if I were to come over here and I were to... Let's create our buttons here. We'll do... Not what I wanted to do. Go back to where you were. There we go. So now we have another button that does a crown. And we need to, actually, I'm noticing, change this. I'm trying to remember how the JavaScript string format works. Submission ID. Is it 2 or is it 1? I can't remember. Guess we'll find out in a second, won't we? So we've already done this one. Method not allowed. Yeah, I did it wrong. I'm a little bit worried that this is gonna break with Jinja. Where's the dollar sign? I can't remember. Dollar sign, that's why. Everybody should settle on the same format. Make my life so much easier. There we go. So now, we can go back over here and reload this thing. Boom. 405 method not allowed. Can't delete. And then if we do crown, true, false. So that means it goes for post. We see the post went through. And if I reload, I will see the crown. There we go. Boom, crown. Very cool. All right. Now, votes submission ID dot is it like that? Is it like that? Is that how it works? Emoji. And else user votes submission ID dot push emoji. If user votes submission ID is undefined, user votes submission ID is an array. Why am I doing that? Pretty simple. Because if this function gets called, we're either removing an emoji or we're adding an emoji. And I want to add that emoji to the user votes so I don't have to reload the page for the page to know whether or not the user has voted for it or not. So I'm trying to update the state in the JavaScript as we do stuff. So I can just change it, and then I can check and see if the emoji's in the array. And if the array is brand new and empty, it won't be in there, so we won't do delete. And then we'll push it in, and then we'll do the API request with the correct method. That default should go up here. There we go. We defined all of our variables. We got all of our stuff. Method post, like that. Get rid of this extra line. There we go. I think this can go away, and that can go away. Let's reload it. Is not a function. Oh, is it pop? I don't know. Yeah. Can I do this? Can I do... Please stop yelling at me. Too many things. It's not being helpful. JavaScript. Remove item from array. Words from the end of an array. Index. I have to find the index. So I've got a splice. Dot splice. Start. Delete count. So we gotta find the index. User votes. Submission ID dot JavaScript get index of object in array. Find index. Find index of emoji. There we go. That should work. Guess we'll find out in a second, right? Said a lot of things should work. A lot of things haven't worked. Is not a function? The frick are you talking about? Please elaborate. What? What are you talking about? That is not a function. I'm so confused. It's not a function. Defined index. Why? Oh. Why does JavaScript have to be so goddamn complicated? Can I just look for a value? Like, do I have to? Oh, it's index of. Alright. Slowly but surely getting there. 405 method not allowed. And that time it let me add it. Alright, cool. So now it'll flip back and forth each one. Each time I click it, like if I actually, you know what? I don't have my stuff turned on. So now you can see, clicking it, each time I click, every other time it gives me a 405 because every other time it's removing and every other time it's adding. So there we go. So now we got that working, we've got that alternating, we've got the post working, we've got everything working as expected. Working, we're getting there slowly but surely. So next, we need to implement the delete endpoint. We just need this to duplicate. It's going to be the same. Dot delete. Validate bearer token. Delete vote. Everything else is going to be exactly the same. No, that was get submission. I'm stupid. Dot vote. I need to add a remove vote. Remove vote. So then I have to come over here to entities, submissions. Remove vote. All right, and then we do delete. That should be correct. It's the submission ID, user, and the emoji. All right, so let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. It should work. Let's hope it works. We gotta restart the server. Now, that added it. Ah! All right, so we're not quite there yet. We gotta figure out how do we delete stuff with Sql Alchemy. Sql Alchemy. Like the issue I'm running into with Sql Alchemy is it lets you do so much stuff, so many things, in so many ways that you have to know exactly, you have to be familiar with the exact interface you've decided to use, that you've chosen to use. And if you don't know exactly what the heck you're doing, you're going to find yourself in a weird spot, doing weird stuff, not really sure. Is it literally as simple as importing delete? Oh, I hate you. Oh, good grief. Why would you do this to me? Delete. All right, let's try that again. Just keep poking it until something works. All right, that did a post. That did a delete. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll figure it out in a second here. And if I reload, it's working. The problem is we have multiple votes. Oh no, we don't. Cool. So then if I do that and then I reload, boom, it's there. If I do that and then I reload, it's gone. All right, cool. And if we do that, deletes, and if we reload, it's gone. All right, cool. Awesome. So now we can add emoji buttons that, when clicked, toggle it up and down. We'll have to add more stuff to make that totally functional. All right, I think I'm gonna start wrapping up here. So almost 7 o'clock. I need to get dinner. I'm feeling hungry. So let's see. We've got the index and rudimentary emoji voting support. Like, it's very much similar to the Discord reactions is basically how it functions. We're using it as our voting mechanism. We'll figure out how we want to make it look and stuff. Now we've got the basic logic in there to make it work. So yeah. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, like, now's the time to ask them. If you got anything you want to ask or find out about or anything like that, feel free to ask. I'm going to be wrapping up. I'm just making these last 2 commits. Like I said, I want to get dinner. But if you got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So, all right, let's see. What do we got to do? Challenges, site, guy, challenges. All right. I wanted to stage that chunk. There we go. Add method for simply getting ID from an object into union. All right. Well, that probably had to go on to that, didn't it? And then we have to import this too. Stage lines. That's actually going to be an amend. They were necessary for that previous one. And stage lines, stage lines, add method for getting a submissions votes. This is for adding stage lines. Add method for adding a vote to a submission. And then add method for deleting a vote from a submission. Moving vote from a submission. Use the same verbiage there. Don't think I'm quite to that point yet. Come on. Why are you not clicking? Add vote support to the submission entity. Go. Now, load user votes into the template scope. And then this, add API routes for managing submission votes. There we go. All right. So that's pretty good progress, I think. We got a good bit done. Banged our head into JavaScript a good bit, but we figured it out and we got it done. So like the next step here would be making this look pretty, iterating through this array that we have, and displaying each of the submissions in a nice, neat, clean way. Trying to see, I'm looking at this. We're going to actually have to load in the user data, because right now it's just got the user ID. So I need to load in that user data so we can get the username for each submission. I actually have. Let's see if we can't pull it up. That's not the GitHub one I wanted to get. And then if we jump over to Summer of Code's website, then we go to issues, homepage template right here. So I have this right here. This is the basic layout we're looking for. If you see right now, this is what that page looks like. We've got pretty much everything. We've got like the top section working. We've got this section working. We've got the post your submission button. That actually functions. This is actually functional right now. This right here is actually working. It actually counts down the number of days left on the challenge. And then right here, we're getting the submissions done. I've got to get the user's avatar image. I've got to get their username. Then they made the submission, which is working, which is right here. So their status. Oh no, actually don't have. I need to get the created status. Like I've got to grab the created date from the created status. And that'll be the updated field here. Because what's happening here is this status is actually the most recent status update. And that will include the created, when it's first created, and then mods will be able to approve or disapprove. And it'll have to be mod approved in order for any votes to count towards the leaderboard. And if it's disapproved, it'll be hidden. So I've actually got to grab the created status to get the updated date, to get when this was created. So I'll have to add the logic for that at some point. So So let me actually make a new issue. Get submission created date. Load the submissions created date from the created status. It's a milestone. Set the milestone. Launch. All right. Submit new issue. All right. Cool. So now we've got a new issue for that. So yeah, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up having to. So we'll have the created date. We're going to have the votes showing up there, and then to check it out, because this you're not going to submit code or anything specifically. Everything's a link. So you're just submitting a bunch of links, and then people will be able to go look at your links that you submitted. It's like if it's a blog post or a video, or if it's some code. So you'll post a link to whatever it is, and then people can go check it out. And you're going to give it a description. It's like, I've got the descriptions working. All of it's there. We've just got to loop through it and get it showing up. And then we've got all the votes working, so we'll be able to see all of that stuff. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so everything here is working. I think it's pretty much functioning the way we need it to. I think this actually, we might be able to just reduce down to a number. Because that's going to be like, you can see here, we've got these numbers. That's how many people have voted with that emoji. That's what that number is indicating. I'm not sure if that's exactly how we're going to style that, but we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We got a lot of work to go yet. We're almost there. It's almost ready for prime time. We're almost ready to go. I don't think we've just got to get the submissions working with the layout here, and then I think we'll be good to go. We'll be ready for people to start using it. I will need to add some things, like I want to add the ability for users to report a submission. We've got to add support for looking back at previous challenges. All of that stuff's got to get added in still, but we're like really, really close to having this almost ready to go. Like, it's almost there. We'll probably want to add some pagination here. We'll probably like it's getting there. We're getting really close. Like the admin, like I don't have the users list set up, but I do have the challenges list set up, so I can actually view the challenges that I've created. I don't have any way to manage them, like delete them or edit them or anything like that. So that's in the pipeline. But for the launch MVP, like we're almost there. We're almost ready to go. We're almost ready to have our first challenge and have our submissions right there, ready to go, visible. So I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go have dinner. I'm gonna do today's weekday challenge. I'm gonna get that published onto the Discord, so make sure you check that out. And if you're watching the stream and you're not a member of the Beginner.Code's Discord server, make sure you join. The link is in the description down below. We're over 8,000 members. We're almost 8,100 members. We're growing rapidly, but we're not one of those servers where you jump into chat, you say something, and within 3 seconds it's 500 messages back in the history. You can chat, you can have conversations, you can join in and be a part of the community right away from day one, because we've got everything organized really well. We've got a really nice help system so that everybody can ask their questions and get help with their problems very easily, and it doesn't get lost. And it's nicely organized by like language and framework, and we have little nice icons, and it's really nice. So if you're not a member, you should join. We would love to have you. And we do, like I was just saying, every weekday, I publish a simple to decently hard challenge. I think everything, for the most part, has been beginner friendly for these challenges. I post them every night, Eastern time, United States Eastern time, and people get to submit their solutions on the Discord, and I give them all a bit of kudos every time, every day, for the submissions they've made. Whether it worked, whether it didn't, I try to give feedback where necessary so people can learn and grow. And like the main benefit I've found from it is you get to see what other people did. So if you're doing the challenges and you're not looking at other people's submissions, you're probably doing it wrong. Like the main benefit from doing these challenges is getting to see everybody else's code. So yeah, you should, if you're not a member, you should join. I am live most Wednesdays and most Sundays. Wednesdays I try to be live at 5 Eastern time, and Sundays 3 Eastern time. Sometimes I get busy, sometimes I'm not able to do it, sometimes I'm tired and just don't feel like doing it, so I don't. We're all about mental health here and keeping yourself first. I think that's important, so I try to live by that when I do myself. So yeah, I'm live most Wednesdays and most Sundays, and yeah, we work on code and we answer questions and we help people out. So if you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. If you're wanting to follow me on Twitter, I'm on Twitter. I want to start doing more with Twitter. I saw a good article today. Will McGugan shared it, talking about like sharing your content, getting your content out there, getting the things you're working on, the things you're excited about out into the world, talking to people about it, because that's where everybody benefits. So I'm going to be trying to get more stuff onto my Twitter, more stuff onto my blog. I already put a lot of stuff onto Discord. I share a lot of articles on Discord. I try to help a bunch of people on Discord when I can. I'm busy. I have a lot of stuff going on. But there's a lot of other people on the Discord right now helping out people. So yeah. All right. Well, you all have a great night and a great week. I will most likely see you all Sunday. So yeah, you all have a great night.